So we're sitting down today with Pete Villani. This is a follow-up a little bit after the first year anniversary of the fires in Altadena. So we're going to hear how things are going, or not going for that matter, directly from Pete. Pete, what's going on, man? I mean, it's been we're at the year anniversary, right?
Oh, we passed it.
We just
January.
passed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're about a year and a month exactly.
Yeah. So,
Still not in my house.
okay.
Things
What
have
does that
moved
mean
along.
though? Yeah.
Well, they've remediated. Okay. So
Okay.
that means they went in, they cleaned, they sucked out the attic, they scrubbed the walls. They're looking at certain things to replace right now, evaluating all the contents. Everything down to a paperclip is out of my house and in a warehouse in Orange County, being cleaned.
To return?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a weird feeling. You watch them pack everything you own
Yeah.
into boxes. And it's not like people go, oh, it's just like moving. No, it's not just like moving because it's weird. It's like, it's not going from one place to your next place. It's being taken and taken somewhere else. And then they're cleaning it and then they bring it back.
Who's they?
That's the remediation company. So
Is it just the remediation company for Altadena and
no, it's where they
Palisades?
do everything. They do down in
Okay.
Orange County. So they're all over the South. They're all over, Southern California. So they basically they clean every single thing. So certain things can't be cleaned. Like the couch, like it smells like smoke because it was penetrated.
Yeah.
So that's different. Clothes are gonna, they'll see if they can wash them, if you can get the smell out. Literally everything gets scrubbed. Everything gets cleaned. Like they scrub my garage. They scrub the studs in my garage. They scrub them.
Did they reach out to you, or did you have to reach out? Like,
No,
how did that
we had to
even go
find them.
down?
We had to get them.
You had to get them.
Yeah, so we went and interviewed a bunch of people, and we liked this company the best, and we went with them, and they've been pretty good. But it's a what I'm constantly finding out about this is it's a constant psychological battle that you're dealing with. It's so weird, and it's like because people ask you this. The number one question I get is, "Hey, was it better that your house survived, or would it have been better if it had been gone?" And it's like, you it's better that it survived, but how much better? You know what I mean? It's like because you're going like when it's a total loss, it's just a buyout.
Yeah.
It's just a buy. They just buy you out.
They meaning the insurance company.
Yeah, and it's like now it's like they question things. Like I kind of thought this when the remediation, all the remediation companies that came with to talk to us about it. They're like, oh yeah, your TVs are gone, your electronics they're gone. Meaning like you'll get they're not going to last. And I'm thinking like these guys. This is a scam, right?
Okay.
My printer, brand new printer,
Yeah.
Epson, $400 printer.
Yeah.
It's going out. It's like a year and a half old. I bought it like 6 months and it's having issues. My alarm,
Yeah.
sensors are going out. I replaced the battery, nothing. They're dead. So what they tell you is they say the smoke clings to the electronics. And I'm thinking like, that can't be. And you know what? I'm having a change of heart because I thought, okay, they're going to pay me for that. Okay. But there's plenty of things that like this sounds funny. My wife's Sonic Air,
toothbrush. Yeah.
brand new. It's all of a sudden going out. So it's kind of like you think, is this a coincidence? No.
Yeah.
So that smoke stuff is real. It's just like
And how much of that did you breathe when you were defending the house?
Well, I had a respirator.
Okay? Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
I wore like a painter's respirator. So when I went and got checked, I have higher level of lead than the average person, but it's not anywhere like they go off an EPA like number. It's like not hazardous. Like, yeah, well, you elevated because, and they go, but a lot of people in Southern California that even weren't involved in the fire, they probably have it because it's up in the air. But you, of course, yeah, if you didn't wear that respirator, you may not be so good, or definitely would be higher. But I went out, I took it off a couple times, but for the most part, I wore a respirator. So, but it's like, it's just, and it's like now you also think this too, because the old saying, time heals all wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be starting counseling.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm having issues. Because now, since you're so far away from the fire, like the incident, like I have anger issues now. Never had that before.
Okay.
There's been a few times I almost got in a couple fist fights. Yep.
Over
Because
what?
you're not, you just, after you go through this, you don't want
Yeah.
to be bothered
Bothered by what though?
by, anything.
Just life in general.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you have short, like my wife says, you have a short fuse now.
And you didn't before.
No. I mean, when I was a teenager, everybody was a teenager.
You got a lot of testosterone.
Yeah, a lot of tests.
Oh,
Now it's like,
oh,
but like people that know me the last 20, 30 years are like, dude, you? And I'm like, yeah. And I mean, another thing that it's like weird, but my wife said she's going through the same thing. My memory's like, because it's very stressful at this point because we're trying, like, we only have so long until loss of use money runs out. And then,
loss of use.
yeah, so what
Educate
that
me
is,
what that means.
loss of use is, so like when you're displaced from your house,
Mhm.
like they're paying for my rent at my rental. So
Right.
now, we're at a year already. We have maybe 4 or 5 months left on that. Well, after that, it runs out. There's no more. So what am I going to do? I have to go live with somebody or pay for the rent out of my pocket so like, and it's just a stress, just like to get the place fixed. Like, I interviewed a lot of contractors.
Mhm.
And I mean, you do more work than, you do a ton of work that you're not compensated for. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you care, you want to pick the right person. Like, I don't know how many, like, I only went through a few people. My wife is the one that really like researched and interviewed all these people from a remediation company. It wasn't one or two.
Yeah.
It's probably like 6 or 8.
What were they, contractors that you chose or searched, or were they from a list that the insurance company provided?
Well, the insurance goes, this is the people we use. And
Okay.
then my wife we're on an Altadena page. So like, it's like, for fire victims and everything. So she went out there and there's some people go, oh, use this person. And then, you go to these, like, like my wife was at the water district last night because there's stuff going on there with our water district that she wanted to find out. But there's these events that still are going on where you can go and like people speak and say, hey, this is what you need to do. And, the good thing is when you join these groups, you get an intel, and these people say, hey, yeah, I had this person, don't use it. Or these people, like the guys we have now, I think what sealed it was my wife knew these people that had their house done. And they said, yeah, these people did a great job. They're very thorough.
Mhm.
Everything was transparent. I mean, we knew about, so it's like, you have to, you find out through like word of mouth, you
Yeah.
talk, you get recommendations,
Yeah.
and that's the best. So yeah, we picked this person, but it's just like, it's a major, major disruption in my life that I didn't, I never thought it would be this bad. Now, that said, people say, oh, well, you're lucky you didn't lose your house. Okay, sure. But you're dealing with a whole nother set of problems.
How so?
Well, because like I said, now it's like you have the insurance company and they're going back and forth, what's good, what's not,
Yeah.
what should be replaced, what shouldn't. When it's gone, they just replace it because it's like, well, it's gone. There's no more
You're
house.
just having to go through a whole nother layer of just a- assessing the situation
Yeah,
that
and
you
it's
wouldn't have
stressful.
to.
It's like I said, it's not what I thought it was going to be, and I thought, oh, in a year's time I'll be good. I think it's worse now than it was a month after the fire.
Because while doing this, you still have to do everything else you have to usually do in your life.
It's been a disruption for my work. I can tell you that because like the other day, because I'm okay, so we're about to start construction, so you can't just leave your materials out. They're stealing stuff, and I don't know how. Like I can't put it in the house because they may
Who's they?
refinish
Who's
the
stealing what? Just people driving
people.
around?
Yeah, people stealing stuff.
Still just hunting around?
Like I almost it sounds funny. When I had the first thing we had done was the block walls repaired because the property was open and people were walking through. So like my lawyer said, he goes, you gotta either put up a fence
Yeah.
or repair redo the walls because that's a liability. If someone can walk through your property and even though like you don't have it fenced off, so they can say, oh, it was open. I walked through. I fell in the foxhole, the gopher
Yeah.
hole, whatever. And he said that you got to close up your property. And even my neighbors were very adamant about getting the property like closed off. Like both my neighbors, yeah, my neighbors to the south and my neighbor to the west, they both, took care of that
Yeah.
as soon as they could, like we did. So I had block wall in the front yard on pallets.
Okay.
And I was worried that they were going to come steal it. I almost thought about like pitching a tent and, or sleeping in the car or whatever, because, it's like you're not going to get reimbursed for that if they
If it
come and
gets
steal it.
stolen,
And you think
yeah.
that, oh, they won't steal it. But we've heard that a cord of lumber, they've been stealing, like, that's a whole
Yeah.
pallet. They come up with a
And it's
truck and a
so
forklift
expensive
and
now.
whoop, they take it and
It's
gone.
they come with a forklift?
Yeah. They've been
So they
stealing stuff.
look legit.
Well, they come in the middle of the night.
Damn.
So, and, the sheriff, we've at, like they patrol, but it's not like they don't patrol. Like they can't, they don't have enough resources.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's like no one's there. It's dark. It's easy to steal.
Is there no street lights or anything?
No, there is, but there, the street light, like houses give a lot of illumination too. So it's like,
That's true.
and some streets that I've driven at night, some don't have street lights yet.
I'm surprised there's not cameras put up by the city even.
Yeah, but I mean, well,
It's another resource
it's
that you
another
have to pay
resource,
for
another thing
and
they got to pay for.
manage. Yeah.
So so there's that kind of stuff. So I'm building a shed. So I'm trying to get this built. So when the contractor, which is going to start any time, gets all the material, they throw it in a shed
And it's
and
safe.
it's locked.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Well, because of that, I missed a WhatsApp call because international productions use WhatsApp, and my notification didn't work, and I lost out on a job. Where normally I'm checking that every day.
Yeah.
Like, look, it's been rough to get here.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm screwing off. It's like I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I'm getting ready. I mean, it's a major, major disruption in my life and my wife and my kids.
How are the kids?
They're okay, but like they don't like, it's like living out of a suitcase. There's days where my wife, from the stress, I'll catch her crying. And it's like, again, like someone on the outside would look and go, oh, you guys are lucky. You guys like didn't lose your house, but you're dealing with stuff. And yeah, it's just I wouldn't want to go through this again.
Is there any type of expectation on returning to some normalcy?
I would hope someday.
Do you have any idea, like when do you think the house will be move-in ready?
We're hoping that in 2 to 3 months that could start to happen, because as soon as the construction starts, and then the remediation company has to do a few more things, like they're looking into some stuff now that they got to do. So we're hoping in 2 to 3 months max we'll be back in there. I mean, it's better than it was, meaning like it's cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
But repairs need to be done. And so there's been progress. It's not that it's standing still, but I mean, there was like the first 6 months we had an issue because the people behind us, they had ammunition in a container, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would not come on the properties. So the only way to clear out my backyard was to go through her yard. And my neighbor's great. She's like, yeah, you could come, they could come through my yard to get your debris.
Yeah.
She's very nice, but she goes, but the Army Corps of Engineers said no, because they found ammunition, because she had ammunition in a container. I don't know how much, but whatever they had, they did not step on the property. So we had to get a private company, and my wife dealt with that. And I can't remember if we had to wait. We had to wait because there was a backlog. We had to wait. But even the Army Corps of Engineers, before they decided not to come on her property,
Yeah.
that took forever. My wife was calling and calling and calling, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to come out, like we're going to come out and assess. And they never came out. It was like this. So it was like, early on, it was very like messy. Things were very messy. And, you got to admit, the figure, there was like, I think there's 6,000 homes.
In Altadena.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I had to clear all that.
What's the insurance been like? Experience with them?
It's, it's interesting.
Interesting. Such a catch-all word.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, the new adjuster was new. She's been our adjuster now for months. She's been pretty good, but there's some things where it's like, they think one way, and, it's like, I'm sure that they're trying to mitigate their losses. I mean, it's AAA. We have AAA, and from what we've been told, they're like one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we really haven't had too much of an issue. Meaning, like, it hasn't been like easy, but there hasn't been. There's some people that it's like, wow. There's
Wow,
some
meaning what?
meaning they're not getting like a lot of help from their insurance company, and the people who are on the fair plan, which is the California one, you don't want to be on that
What makes you say that?
because they don't pay out. I mean, it's like they don't pay out. Some people say, yeah, they haven't been paying, and it's like, how's that? And it's like, you know, so it's
How many adjusters did you go through?
I'm on my 4th adjuster, but we've heard people being on their 10th adjuster.
Now, how does that happen? Are you having to call saying this person's not working, I want another?
One of the
Or
people we had was pretty bad,
okay.
very unprofessional. Would not answer the questions, straight questions I would ask, not answer them, or not even get back to my emails. So I had to, because it's already it's a hard enough process to get through
Mm-hmm.
without delays like that.
Yeah.
And I don't, my personal opinion, I don't think it was something where it was like the guy was overwhelmed. I don't know I don't know why he did the things he did,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to go to AAA and complain and go, hey man, look, I want to get this moving.
Yeah.
And this guy's not moving and he's not returning and I can't chase. You know what I mean? It takes time to chase people.
Yeah.
So it's like, he needed to be more proactive and he wasn't. So I had to get rid
Where's
of him.
is there any accountability for anything, any of the touch points? I mean, you got insurance, you got the remediation crew, you have so many elements to getting everything back together. Is there any accountability
But on their part,
on anybody's part? You know what I mean? Like, if you're having issues, is there not some forum that collectively, because if there's 6,000 homes, there's how many voices all going through similar issues with different degrees of, severity,
they
right?
say it depends on your adjuster. And the adjuster we have, this one we have now, she's been pretty good. I mean, she's been pretty good. But, you don't know on their side what's going on. I mean, are their bosses saying, hey, don't do this? Don't, you don't,
That was going to be my question
yeah,
is
you
what
don't
makes a
know.
good adjuster? Is it somebody who's competent or actually somebody who's working as hard as they can? And then are all of them really managed by the same people? Because you have all these different layers, right? Of things that we don't see.
We don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on that side
Yeah.
on their side. I don't know what they're being told. You know what I mean? It's like, are their bosses saying, "Hey, don't just give in." You don't know what's going on. They don't tell you. They're not going to tell you. They can't.
What has your neighbor's experience been like? Similar, worse, better?
Similar. I mean, it seems like you have to fight to a certain extent. Um, I mean, I have one neighbor. I mean, she didn't have she has smoke damage, and she's like behind us, meaning like in progress. She's had to like redo, like she had someone come out and evaluate, and she had someone come out. I don't know her story, but completely, but and she's a very organized, like she was a news person. She was in
Okay.
charge. She used to work at CBS. She was in charge of news. She's very good, like researching and
Yeah.
and she helps out the whole neighborhood. Like she'll send out stuff going, hey, look, like when we tested, the house got tested, right? We had a person come in and test for all that stuff. She's the one that said, hey, you need to have you need to have your house tested for this, and this. She's been instrumental in getting the neighborhood a lot of information on what to do. And, so, and she's frustrated because she goes, look, I'm like chasing them, she's chasing them. And it's like, it's like, well, we shouldn't have to chase. But we are. I think we all are. I think everybody is to a certain extent. Some worse than others. Like I said, depends on your adjuster. Our adjuster's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say one was really bad, extremely bad. And I had to go to AAA. I went down physically to AAA and had to complain.
Gotcha.
And I had to say, look, I got to get this moving. I want to get back in my house. I got to get this moving. If we have this guy here, he's going to take too long. And he was taking too long. I mean, sometimes I wouldn't get.
But you're on your fourth one now. So you went down and complained once.
Yeah.
How'd you end
The
up?
other two got replaced, I think.
Oh, we're at 20. Okay.
So does that mean
No. Well, what what is it that you believe, because you're going through it? What are what would be something that other people really want to know that are probably going through it too, or just the unknown thing that you're like, man, people should really know that this is happening?
Well, you gotta stay strong and you gotta stay steadfast. It's like we're not out to get our insurance company, but we have a policy. Okay. And I pay money. It's a service. And it's like, I'm not asking for more. I'm asking for, I want to get back to where I was. You know what I mean? And it's like, the best thing is to talk to people, others that are in that situation. You get on like these forums on Facebook, which I'm not a big social media person, but that's been very helpful because you have people come in and go, oh, no, 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 don't do this. This is what we did. Have the remediation company do this, have your insurance company do that. Knowledge is the key. You know what I mean? And the way you get that is you get that from other people. Like there's people that I called that they lost their house like 5 years ago. And they told me, hey, look, this is what you're going to go through.
Hmm.
This is what you need to do. And this is how you safeguard yourself. So you get, that has been huge. The forum's been really good for my wife because it clarifies a lot of things. So, and, you could call your insurance company and I, they're, like I said, our insurance company has been pretty good, meaning like, but again, you don't know on that other side what's going on, what
Yeah.
they're being told. So you have to watch, it's like, do you trust your insurance company 100%? I mean, you hear some bad things
Yeah.
from these other people that are insured and you're like, what? So it's like, I mean, it's like, you know, you got to be educated to know what's going on, to safeguard yourself and to get the process moving. We have spent way too much time getting this process moving. Like we found our rental.
Yeah.
A lot of
Oh,
times the insurance, they go find, we found it
okay.
because we figured that, well, that, I can't remember if that was the third adjuster. No, I think it was like the second adjuster. And we didn't have, they were like, that was like short lived, the first two, I think. But it's like, we found it
Hmm.
because they're supposed to find your housing, I believe.
Okay.
They have like I think a organization that they deal with that goes and finds housing.
Yeah.
We found it and we found it cheap. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's like, okay, well, we found and close. Most people are going like out to Azusa from Pasadena to like, we have friends
Yeah.
that are living in Azusa because that's the closest rental they could find. We got lucky. So we jumped on it, but we were proactive and looking for places.
How do they determine your rental budget?
That's in your loss of use. So you only got so much
Oh,
loss of
so
use. So,
so if they gave you how let's just say they gave you 50 grand for loss of use, you could go rent a place for 10,000 bucks a month.
and you're only there for
And you're
5
only in
months.
5 months. So it's up to you to make it stretch.
Yep.
And rental's not cheap. And they even, there was a mandate to not go through the roof and gouge people.
Yeah,
But
I think that didn't work because I know people that are paying pretty
yeah.
high. So yeah, you got to be educated. You got to talk to other people.
Yeah.
It's the best thing is to talk to other people, your neighbors, people in your community. It's the best thing because then you can figure out what's going on. If anybody's trying to pull any funny things, bad contractors, good contractors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that. Because, now there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to throw their name in a hat, contractors and remediation coming out. You got to do the research. You got to do research to protect yourself.
Well,
And
thanks, Pete.
so, yeah.
We appreciate the update
Yep.
and hoping the best for you. And yeah, just the fact that you're willing to share how it's going, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that can relate. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So.